There is a distinct, almost masochistic peculiarity to the American consumer experience that baffles the European observer. Consider the Nutcracker at the New York City Ballet, a festive staple where a cheap resale seat demands an average of $263, soaring to nearly $460 for a premium showing. It speaks to a culture where liquidity is either abundant or credit is alarmingly elastic. But this is not merely about ballet, it is the canary in the coal mine for the rampant commodification of live entertainment in the United States. We are witnessing the absolute normalization of financial absurdity. The Super Bowl has long ceased to be a sporting event accessible to the working class, with resale tickets averaging over $8,000. Even the World Series and regular season NBA games in major markets like New York and Los Angeles have instituted a paywall that effectively segregates the legacy fan from the corporate client. When Lionel Messi arrived in MLS, ticket floors didn't just rise, they evaporated, starting at nearly $500. In England, a £5 increase in season tickets triggers a mass walkout at Anfield or banners at Old Trafford. There is a collective consciousness that the game belongs to the people. In the US, however, the reaction is inverted. There is a perverse pride in paying over the odds, as if being bled dry by the free market is the ultimate act of liberty. Fans view price hikes not as an insult, but as a validation of their team's greatness. It is a dangerous psychological conditioning that FIFA has observed and with predatory precision decided to exploit. Enter Gianni Infantino and Donald Trump, a duo whose recent public exchanges suggest a shared philosophy that value is defined solely by revenue. Trump's praise for FIFA setting beyond any numbers records was not a celebration of sport, but a celebration of extraction. Infantino's rhetoric has shifted to a terrifying hyperbole, framing the 104-game tournament not as a football festival, but as the equivalent of staging 3 Super Bowls a day. The flaw in this tactical setup is obvious. The Super Bowl is a singular, scarcity-driven cultural event. A group stage match between Panama and Croatia is not. Yet, the pricing structure suggests FIFA believes they are identical products. A Category 1 ticket for an opening match involving a host nation is averaging $1,825. For context, that is a roughly 200% increase on the equivalent fixture in Qatar, and triple what fans paid in Russia 2018. This is a high line played with zero pressure on the ball, suicidal defending of the sport's long-term interest. FIFA is relying on the casual American sports fan or the wealthy domestic soccer enthusiast to fill the void, ignoring that the broadcast numbers for soccer in the US still lag light years behind the NFL. They are pricing the tournament as if the demand is inelastic, a fundamental misunderstanding of the sport's hierarchy. The Club World Cup should have been the scouting report that alerted FIFA to the dangers of this approach. We saw swaths of empty seats because the price point, $349 for Inter Miami versus Al Ahly, was detached from reality. Instead of using that tournament as a loss leader to hook a new generation, they applied a Champions League final pricing model to a pre-season friendly product. This is where the strategy falls apart. The US is a growth market. You do not grow a sport by treating the fan base as a personal ATM before they have even emotionally invested. If FIFA possessed any foresight, they would have utilized the massive inventory of a 48-team World Cup to undercut the exorbitant US sports market. Imagine the goodwill of offering $50 tickets to under-30s, creating a raucous, youthful atmosphere that hooks fans for life. Instead, they have opted for short-termism. They are hoovering up revenue from ticketing, broadcasting, concessions, and even parking, charging up to $175 for a spot of tarmac, while offering little back to the grassroots ecosystem. The PR defense is always in accordance with local market conditions. This is corporate speak for because we can. It is difficult to justify charging over $400 for Netherlands versus Japan, or nearly $500 for Scotland versus Brazil, simply because the stadium is in Texas rather than Tokyo. There is a grim irony in Infantino declaring this the most inclusive World Cup ever while sitting in the Oval Office. In FIFA's lexicon, inclusion appears to be an antonym. It excludes anyone without the disposable income to drop $600 on a 90-minute match, and potentially excludes global fans who cannot navigate the hostile US immigration architecture, where DNA samples and social media history may soon be prerequisites for entry. Host cities have committed taxpayer billions based on economic impact studies that promise a $40 billion windfall. These studies are historically as reliable as a leaky defense. They rely on a massive influx of foreign tourists. Yet with dynamic pricing driving airfares and hotels into the stratosphere and a geopolitical climate that screams, "Keep out," the traveling supporter, the lifeblood of World Cup atmosphere, may simply stay home. We must also address the dynamic pricing model FIFA has adopted. It is a system designed to panic the consumer, creating artificial scarcity to drive prices up. Reports suggest FIFA is also taking a 15% cut on resales. It is the commercialization of anxiety. FIFA has sold 2 million tickets, proving that the elite demand is there, but 5 million remain. The real test is not the final in New York, New Jersey, it is the dead rubber group games. Are there really 80,000 people in Dallas willing to pay $500 to watch Japan play Albania? Can Houston sell 72,000 tickets at $450 a pop for Saudi Arabia versus Cape Verde? In the Premier League, you pay for the quality on the pitch. In the NBA, you can watch the Dallas Mavericks for $30 or the Houston Rockets for under $50. FIFA is asking fans to pay premium prices for what is, in many cases, a mid-table product. The Americans might be used to paying for greatness, but even they might draw the line at paying a fortune for mediocrity. FIFA is betting that the event outweighs the sport. If they are wrong, we won't see the vibrant, chaotic wall of colour that defines the World Cup. We will see the sterile, quiet atmosphere of a corporate box, played out in cavernous NFL stadiums, half filled with people wondering why they spent a month's rent to watch a 0-0 draw. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays.